The warning. The first contact came on a quiet Thursday morning. Captain Sarah Martinez stood on the observation deck of Luna Station, Earth's most advanced orbital facility, when the alarms began their haunting wail. She had spent 12 years preparing for this moment, though many believed it would never come. "Captain, we have an unidentified object entering the solar system," Lieutenant Chen reported, his hands dancing across the holographic controls. "It's moving at velocities we can't explain with conventional physics." Martinez felt her heart rate increase as she moved to the command console. The display showed a sleek vessel, unlike anything human engineers had imagined, gliding past Saturn's rings as if they were mere decoration. "Size?" she asked, her voice steady despite the magnitude of the moment. "Approximately 300 meters in length. Energy signatures are off our charts," Chen replied. "It's scanning everything. Our planets, our stations, even our communication networks." Martinez took a deep breath. This was humanity's moment of truth. "Activate Protocol Omega. Alert the United Earth Command." Within minutes, defense stations across the solar system came to life. Hidden bunkers on Mars opened their blast doors. Submarine bases in Earth's deepest oceans powered up systems that the public never knew existed. Humanity had spent the last 50 years preparing for this possibility, ever since they discovered ancient ruins on Europa that proved they weren't alone in the universe. General David Okafor materialized as a hologram in the command center. As head of United Earth Defense, he had trained for alien contact scenarios countless times. "Captain Martinez, what's our situation?" "Single alien vessel, sir. It's conducting systematic scans of our system. No communication attempts yet." Okafor nodded grimly. "Send the first contact message. Let's see if they're interested in talking." The message had been crafted by Earth's finest diplomats, scientists, and philosophers. It was transmitted in mathematical sequences, accompanied by images showing human diversity and peaceful intentions. "This is Earth, home to humanity. We welcome peaceful contact with other intelligent species. We seek cooperation and mutual understanding. However, we must inform you that any hostile action will be met with our full defensive capabilities. Please respond with your intentions." On the alien vessel, Commander Zix of the Ingenuity Empire reviewed the primitive transmission with amusement. The Ingenuity were an ancient race, their empire spanning thousands of star systems. They had conquered countless worlds, and this backwater planet with its barely spacefaring inhabitants seemed like another easy addition to their domain. "How quaint," Zix remarked to his subordinate, Officer Krex. "They actually believe they can defend themselves. Send the data to the Emperor. This system has valuable resources, and these, humans, won't be a problem." The scout ship completed its survey and jumped to hyperspace, leaving humanity to wonder about their visitors' intentions. In the Exenary capital, a world of crystalline spires and floating cities, Emperor Thaxis reviewed the report from the Sol system. The Emperor was ancient even by Exenary standards, his elongated skull marked with ceremonial scars from 1,000 conquests. "Another primitive species discovered, Your Supremacy," announced Chancellor Morva, bowing deeply. "They call themselves humans. Their technology is centuries behind ours, though they did attempt to send a warning." Emperor Thaxis laughed, a sound like breaking glass. "A warning? From them? How amusing. What could they possibly threaten us with? Their chemical rockets? Their nuclear toys?" The scouts did detect some unusual energy readings from several of their installations. Morva added cautiously, "Perhaps we should investigate further before." Silence. The Emperor's eyes flashed violet with anger. "The Exenary Empire has stood for 20 millennia. We take what we desire. Prepare the conquest fleet. I want this Earth secured within 30 rotations." "As you command, Your Supremacy," Morva replied, though doubt gnawed at her mind. Back on Earth, 3 months had passed since the alien encounter. The world had changed dramatically. Old rivalries were set aside as humanity united in the face of a potential external threat. Secret projects that had been in development for decades received unlimited funding. Admiral Kenji Nakamura stood in the underground command center beneath Mount Fuji, watching as the latest updates flowed across his screens. The quantum shield generators are online across all major cities, he reported to General Okafor. The lunar defense grid is operational, and the Mars fleet is ready for deployment. Good, Okafor nodded. Our AI predictions suggest they'll return with force. When they didn't respond to they showed their hand. They don't see us as equals. Sir, an analyst called out. Deep space sensors are detecting multiple hyperspace signatures. It's a fleet. At least 50 vessels. The room fell silent. Everyone understood what this meant. So it begins, Okafor said quietly. Activate all defense protocols. It's time to show them that Earth's warning wasn't just words. The Exenary Conquest Fleet emerged from hyperspace in perfect formation. 50 warships, each carrying enough firepower to devastate a planet, surrounded Earth like predators circling prey. Admiral Orcs, the Empire's most decorated military commander, stood on the bridge of the flagship Dominator. Establish communication with the primitives, Vorks ordered. Let them know their fate. Emperor Thaxis appeared as a towering hologram before the people of Earth, his image broadcast to every screen on the planet. Humans of Earth, I am Emperor Thaxis of the Exenary Empire. Your world now belongs to us. Your species will serve the Empire. Resistance is futile and will result in your complete annihilation. You have one of your hours to surrender unconditionally. The transmission ended without waiting for a response. In homes, offices, and military bases around the world, humans watched the alien ultimatum. Some felt fear, others anger, but most felt a strange sense of determination. They had prepared for this moment. General Okafor appeared on every screen moments later. People of Earth, the choice before us is clear. We can submit to slavery, or we can fight for our freedom. 50 years ago, we discovered we weren't alone. We've used that time wisely. Today, we show the universe that humanity will not go quietly into the night. Today, we fight. Across the globe, hidden installations revealed themselves. What appeared to be ordinary mountains split open to reveal massive cannon arrays. Ocean waters parted as submarine fortresses surfaced. The moon itself seemed to come alive as buried defense platforms activated. Admiral Vorks watched these developments with growing concern. Their response time is impressive, he admitted to his tactical officer. Shall we begin the bombardment, Admiral? The officer asked. Vorks nodded. Target their major population centers. Let's see if their defenses are more than just for show. The Exenary fleet opened fire, energy beams capable of turning cities to glass streaking toward Earth. But as the deadly barrage approached the planet, something unexpected happened. Shimmering domes of energy appeared over every major city, absorbing and dissipating the alien weapons fire. Impossible, Vorks exclaimed. Their technology shouldn't be capable of this. On Earth, General Okafor smiled grimly. The quantum shield technology, reverse-engineered from the Europa ruins and perfected by humanity's brightest minds, was working perfectly. They took the bait, he said. Now it's our turn. All units, engage. The battle for Earth had begun, and the Exenary Empire was about to learn why humanity's warning should have been heeded. The unexpected war. The space above Earth erupted into chaos as humanity revealed its true defensive capabilities. What the Exenary had dismissed as a primitive civilization suddenly displayed technology that defied their expectations. Hidden satellite weapons platforms, disguised as space debris, came to life with targeting systems that locked onto the alien vessels. Admiral Vorks gripped his command chair as the first barrage struck his fleet. Evasive maneuvers, returned fire on those platforms. But the human weapons were unlike anything in the Empire's database. Instead of energy beams or missiles, They fired concentrated bursts of exotic matter that phased through scenary shields as if they didn't exist. 3 destroyers simply ceased to exist, their atoms scattered across the void. On the lunar surface, massive railgun installations opened fire. These weapons, built in secret over 2 decades, accelerated projectiles to near-light speed. The kinetic impacts struck scenary cruisers with devastating force, crumpling their hulls like paper. "Admiral," the tactical officer shouted, "we're detecting launch signatures from Earth's surface, thousands of them." Vorks watched in disbelief as waves of human fighters rose from hidden bases across the planet. These weren't the chemical-propelled vessels the scouts had reported. These ships moved with impossible agility, powered by gravity manipulation drives that humanity had developed from studying the Yoruba artifacts. Captain John Washington led the first fighter wing, his voice calm over the communications network. "All wings, implement attack pattern Delta. Remember your training. Their shields have a frequency modulation we can exploit." The human fighters swarmed the Exenary fleet like angry hornets, their smaller size allowing them to evade the massive warship's main guns. They targeted weak points with surgical precision, having studied every detail the scout ship had inadvertently revealed during its. In the Exenary capital, Emperor Thaxus watched the battle unfold with growing rage. "This is impossible. How can primitives possess such technology?" Chancellor Morva, who had warned about the unusual energy readings, spoke carefully. "Your Supremacy, perhaps these humans found ancient technology, as we did when our empire was young. They may have had decades to prepare. Send the reserve fleet," Thaxus commanded. "I want that planet reduced to ashes." Back at Earth, the battle intensified. The Exenary, despite their losses, still commanded overwhelming numbers. For every ship humanity destroyed, 2 more seemed to take its place. But Earth's defenders had more surprises in store. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, Dr. Lisa Park activated humanity's most closely guarded secret. "Initiating Project Phoenix," she announced. "May God help us all." The ocean began to glow with an ethereal light. Then, rising from the depths like legends come to life, emerged Earth's true defenders, massive biomechanical constructs that seemed part machine, part living creature. These were humanity's greatest achievement, created by merging alien technology with Earth's own revolutionary bioengineering. The lead construct, designated Atlas, stood 200 meters tall. Its pilot, Colonel Michael Torres, felt the machine respond to his thoughts as if it were an extension of his own body. "All Phoenixes, engage at will. Show them why they should have listened to our warning." The Phoenix units took to the sky, their forms shifting and adapting as they moved. They engaged the Exenary capital ships directly, their adaptive armor absorbing enemy fire while their weapon systems analyzed and exploited weaknesses in real time. Admiral Vorks watched in horror as one of his dreadnoughts was literally torn apart by what appeared to be a living weapon. "What manner of species is this?" he whispered. The tide of battle was turning. The Exenary fleet, designed for overwhelming inferior civilizations, found itself in a genuine fight for survival. Their casualties mounted as humanity pressed its advantage. On Mars, massive magnetic accelerators came online. These planetary defense guns had been built into Olympus Mons itself, turning the solar system's largest volcano into the ultimate weapon. The first shot crossed the void in seconds, punching through the Exenary flagship's shields and coring it like an apple. Admiral Vorks barely escaped in a life pod as the Dominator exploded around him. As he drifted in space, watching his fleet being systematically dismantled, he realized the magnitude of their miscalculation. The humans hadn't just prepared for invasion. They had prepared for war against a technologically superior enemy. "All units, retreat," Vorks commanded, his voice heavy with defeat. "Return to Empire space immediately." The surviving Exenary ships began their withdrawal. But humanity wasn't finished. General Okafor authorized the use of their final surprise, the quantum interdiction field. A network of satellites activated, creating a bubble around the solar system that prevented hyperspace jumps. You came to our home uninvited. Okafor broadcast to the trapped Xenari fleet. You ignored our warning and chose war. Now face the consequences of your arrogance. The remaining battle was swift and decisive. Trapped within the solar system, the Xenari fleet was methodically destroyed. Only a handful of ships were deliberately allowed to escape, carrying with them a message for their emperor. In the Xenari throne room, Emperor Thaxis listened to Admiral Vorx's report with disbelief. They defeated our entire conquest fleet. Your supremacy, Vorx said, his voice hollow. The humans possessed technology we couldn't comprehend. They had prepared for our arrival, studied our weaknesses. They sent a warning, and we ignored it. Thaxis slumped in his throne, the first defeat of his long reign crushing his spirit. What message did they send? Vorx activated a hologram. The image of General Okafor appeared, his face stern but not cruel. To Emperor Thaxis and the Xenari Empire, Okafor began. We are humanity. We sought peace but were forced to war. Your fleet has been defeated, your aggression repelled. We possess the coordinates of your home world and the capability to strike it, but we choose not to. This is our second warning. Leave us in peace, and we will do the same. Approach our system with hostile intent again, and we will end your empire. The choice is yours. The throne room fell silent. For the first time in 20 millennia, the Xenari Empire had encountered a species that could not only defend itself, but could potentially threaten the Empire's existence. What are your orders, your supremacy? Chancellor Morva asked quietly. Thaxis stared at the hologram for a long moment. Declare the Sol system a forbidden zone. No Xenari vessel is to approach within 1,000 light years. He paused, then added, and send a response. Tell them, the Empire accepts their terms. On Earth, celebrations erupted as news of victory spread. But in the command centers and defense installations, the mood was more subdued. They had won, but at great cost. More importantly, they had revealed their capabilities to the galaxy. General Okafor stood with his staff, looking at star charts showing known galactic civilizations. This is just the beginning, he said. We've shown the universe that humanity can defend itself. Now we must decide what kind of neighbors we want to be. Dr. Lisa Park joined them, still exhausted from coordinating the Phoenix units. We could have destroyed them completely, she observed. Why show mercy? Okafor smiled sadly. Because that's what separates us from them. We warned them. They ignored it. But we're not conquerors. We're defenders, and now the galaxy knows. Earth stands ready. In the weeks that followed, humanity began to receive communications from other civilizations. Some offered alliance, others trade, and a few even apologized for past observations that had deemed Earth too primitive to contact. The Xenari Empire, true to their word, withdrew their forces and declared humanity a sovereign power. As Earth entered this new era of galactic awareness, children looked up at the stars with different eyes. They no longer wondered if they were alone. They knew they weren't. And they knew that among the stars, Earth had earned its place through courage, ingenuity, and the wisdom to offer warning before war. The age of isolation was over. The age of humanity among the stars had begun. And across the galaxy, civilizations would remember the lesson. When Earth sends a warning, it's wise to listen. The Phoenix units returned to their ocean depths, the orbital defenses powered down to standby mode, and life on Earth resumed. Forever changed. Humanity had faced its greatest trial and emerged victorious, not through conquest, but through the strength to defend their home and the wisdom to show mercy to their enemies. In the end, Earth's warning had been both a deterrent and a declaration. We come in peace, but we are prepared for war. And sometimes, that's the strongest message of all.